get what they've always wanted to get, people quit and they give up. When you're feeling the most trapped and down and nothing can go right, that's your moment. That's your moment. Those are the moments that define you. Those are those character canon moments. Just hold on. Just endure, you know? Look at things differently. Challenge yourself to look at things as the glass half full. Challenge yourself to think 4 steps ahead. Think your way through it.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be? Are you getting better every single day? That's the question, right? And it's just taking small steps. It's the process of getting better every day and doing that for a period of years that then create the masterpiece.
Howdy, vibe. I know it has been a while, and I'm also very aware of the fact that it's been days, probably a week now since you've graduated, and I've just been super duper busy. That's why I haven't made a video, but I really wanted to make a video to commemorate this beautiful experience that you just had. And also, because you were the first class that I had when I came back from Germany, I had to leave you a video message because I also felt really sad I couldn't be at your graduation. So I'm gonna try to make sure that this isn't 25 minutes, but I make no promises because this might be 25 minutes and I have no shame about it. I just have so much I want to say. But let me also tell you why I wasn't able to make it to your graduation. So the campaign I was running for Destiny to go to Spain, the day that you were graduating, I had to drive Destiny to the airport in order to make sure that she caught her flight on time and that she headed to Spain safely. So that's why I couldn't make it to your graduation, but I did tell myself that I would make a video for you, and hopefully this is kind of a surprise to kind of make it up to you. I didn't get a chance to go to your graduation, but I did have the opportunity to head to Ileani's graduation, which happened that Tuesday, and the Monday night before that, I went to Yadira's graduation party. And as always, a Fortilus always pays his debts. I want to give a huge shout out to Evie's event venue that did the decorations and just created an amazing space and atmosphere. So please check her out. She does an amazing job with the decorations and just making the process extremely smooth and comfortable and just wonderful and lovely. So just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. I'm trying to think which story I'm going to tell. Let's actually head to the beginning. When I first came there in January and all of you hated me, like you despised me. And the feeling was mutual as well, because I also know that I was replacing a teacher that you had since 6th grade, and the teacher left in the middle of the year in 9th grade, and I just was popped into your classroom and it was telling you what to do and switching your seats, and that caused a lot of friction. And I don't mind that, actually. And let me tell you something, I've never really said this. I've said that to individual students, but now I get to say it publicly. You were the first group of students, because you were so rambunctious and rebellious, that actually made me come very, very close to quitting. I had like my resignation letter written and everything. The only reason I didn't quit is because I heard that you were making bets behind my back about how long I would stay, and then I was like, all right, just because of my pride and my ego, and I'm super competitive, I'm gonna see this through. But I came very, very close to quitting. But I'm so happy I did it, because it was amazing getting to know you. Once we went past our stage of friction, I remember, and you're gonna love this because you're gonna see throughout this presentation, this video that I'm doing, you're gonna see these pictures come up. I remember that you guys would steal This is the old phone. Remember this phone? This is the Huawei phone that I brought from Germany, and you guys made fun of it all the time, and you talked about how cheap it was, how ugly it was, and how it wasn't an Android. And once our relationship got better, you would steal that phone and you would take pictures of it. And I remember saying jokingly, like, oh, I'm gonna use these pictures for your graduation one day. And I kind of like forgot all about it. I eventually got a new phone. I'm an iPhone now, iPhone gang. And I took this phone, I put it like in the attic somewhere. And I was like, I'm gonna do this video message for the kids. Let me see if these pictures are actually still there, because I've never deleted them, and they are still there. And you'll see them popping up throughout this video, especially once I start telling my story. But another funny story that you guys always used to make fun of me about this here. This is the satchel that my mentor had given me as a graduation gift for when I got my master's in Germany, and you always called it a purse. Like, mister, can I see your purse? And I was like, it's a satchel. It is a satchel. So I just wanted to bring these little items to just remember like how funny it was, just our experience together. But I want to actually, because you know my conversations with you guys always have some kind of lesson, and I wanted to make sure I wrote it down to make sure I don't get too off topic, because this video could easily be 35 minutes, but I won't do that. I'm going to try to keep it under 15. Try. I want to actually I was racing with my nephew because he's interested in like doing cross country, and as I was racing him, I used to run a really good mile, like 6 minutes and 30 seconds, which was good for me. I mean, I'm no track star, but I just recently ran one. It was only 9 minutes, and he's just getting into running, and he tried to keep up with my pace. And what I was telling him is like, you can't keep up with my pace. You just have to run your own race, and eventually you're going to find your rhythm. And let me tell you a short story. I won't say the student's name, but he was one of the students who graduated. I tell this story all the time. I'm gonna call him Kibbs Fortilus, or Kibbington, or Kibbins. I'll just interchange those names. So one of the students and I, because I would always compete with the students. This is where the pictures will start coming in, by the way. You'll see them as I tell this story. I would always compete and run with the kids, especially on Fridays, because I would always come dressed down on Fridays. And one of the students was like, yeah, mister, we can run routes. Basically, a long story, super short, to just explain routes to you very quickly. You have a quarterback, and that person is just neutral. They're just throwing the ball. And there are two competitors. One is playing offense, one is playing defense. And then they would change after every round. So we chose somebody to be a QB because I don't have a good arm, and then it would just interchange between the student and I. Let's call him Kibbs Fortilus and I. And one round I would play offense, the other round I would play defense. And basically, your goal in offense is to try to catch the ball from the QB, and your role in defense is to try to prevent the person on offense from getting the ball. A long story, super short. There's a short video that'll be here somewhere where it'll make sense. But so Kibbins and I, he challenged me, and I knew that he was faster than me. Like, not way faster than me because I'm pretty quick, but I knew that he was faster than me. I knew he was a quick student. I knew he probably had a better arm than me, whatever you say in football. Like, he could catch better than I could. I have better fingers at times. But I also know that because he's young and he's super energetic, if you'll know the student I'm talking about if you remember this moment, and he is what you would call a front runner. Like, most times people who are front runners are really, really fast, but they have no endurance, and all you have to do is get in their head and make them burn out all of their energy, and by then, like, it'll be a walk in the park. So it was that Friday we had to run routes, and I remember that Monday, every single time I'd see him, I'd be like, Kibbs Fortilus, I'm gonna break your ankles. Like, Kibbins, do you have insurance? Because it's gonna be really bad for you on Friday. I was like, do you need me to call your mom? Because like, I'm definitely gonna send you to the hospital because I'm just gonna juke you up so bad once we hit the field. And the entire week, every single time I see him in the halls, every time he's in my classroom, I would just get into his head, because I also know that he was faster than me, and that was the only way I would just need him to burn out. And I remember Friday comes, and even while we're on the field, I'm turning over to him. I'm like, you're really about to get it. Like, it's gonna be really bad for you. And he's just like, whatever, mister, you're not gonna do nothing. You're not gonna do nothing. I was like, no, it's gonna be really bad for you. And so every time he was on offense, I just made him run as fast as he could, and then I would just catch my breath as I was going back, but I would just force him to run as fast as he could. And when I was on offense, I would run as fast as I could, and I would purposely miss the ball because I just needed him to burn out. Purposely miss the ball, and eventually, after the third or fourth round, then I heard him breathing heavy, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a cakewalk." And I basically like 5-0'd the kid. I think we went up to 5 or 7. I got like the ball 5 times. I think he got it like maybe once, but it was just a walk in the park. Long story super short, the message in this lesson is to run your own race. You are about to head into this beautiful journey now, and I'm so grateful for the time that we had. If you listen to the music in the background, you're going to hear that I played God's Menu for all the students who are really big into K-pop and introduced me to like Stray Kids and all of the other great bands. Stray Kids I remember because we would play God's Menu all the time and it would go kachu kachu. So I remember that like vividly. And then the other song that you're gonna hear in the background is D-Thang's Talk Facts, because the kids would always like talk about getting sturdy and X, Y, and Z, and then they got me into doing that, and you'll see that video at the very end as well. And so I'm so grateful for all of the moments that we shared. Like they are priceless to me. I think I've just been so extremely busy with other projects that I'm kind of the worst with checking in, and even sometimes the students will text me and I text like 3 or 4 days late and stuff like that. And I always tell the students that like, I'm your teacher for a year, but I am your mentor for a lifetime. So you can always reach out to me if you need help with college, if you need help with life, if you need just somebody to sit down and have coffee with and talk. I'm always here for that. I'm just so grateful for our memories and for our experiences. And I also just really want to stress that like, even for the conflict, like that conflict is really what strengthened the bonds. Like I tell stories about you kids all the time. I definitely talk about how hard it was to work with you initially, because that part was very true. You were a very difficult group. But I also talk about how meaningful it was that we had that conflict. There's, not to get too preachy and to try to keep my promise and keep this under 15 minutes, but there's a concept in transformative mediation. They talk about this idea that in the Chinese symbol for conflict is also the same symbol for opportunity. So within every conflict is an opportunity for deeper understanding, deeper bonds, and to make a stronger connection, and to also just create like wonderful and beautiful memories. So I really hope that you enjoyed the pictures that you saw on the background. I hope that you take this lesson to heart. Oh, let me tell another funny story as well before I wrap this up. Sorry, this is my ADHD. Funny thing about like me running routes and beating that student, Kibbs Fortilus. A few years later, I was in Texas, and I ran routes with one of my students, and he literally did the same thing I did to that student, Kibbs Fortilus. He did that to me. He got into my head, and then he ended up literally. I sprained my ankle. He did this move where he like took a stutter step, and then he like slanted or whatever that football move is called, and literally my ankle just twisted, and I just heard the sprain and I was like limping for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and that was just a funny experience. So karma does come back around. Let me just make sure I've said everything I could. Yeah, I think that's everything. I can't tell you how proud I am of you. I cannot verbalize that. I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to teach you. If you ever need me, feel free to reach out. Final thing I'm going to say, because I'm going to take a step. I always have my hiatus, especially once I send the students abroad. So I told myself, once I sent Destiny abroad, once I did your video to thank you and to tell you how proud I was of you, I would take a few weeks away. I might come back and do, what do you call the dumps, random dumps, photo dumps, whatever, because we're taking a short trip to like the Niagara Falls, so I might just do a dump there. Take a dump in the Niagara Falls, I mean like a photo dump, a random dump, whatever you could say. I might do that, and but for the most part, I'll be offline. You kids can always reach out to me though. I am always here for you. That's it. That's the video. It's literally 15 minutes in. I'm gonna stop here. Bye.
I'm trying to find myself.